Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
Hello viewers, let's discuss a major social evil of our times, alcohol. Most of you would have had some pleasant or unpleasant experience with alcohol. You must have found some charming or rowdy drunken behavior. A lot of you might even be wondering as to why all this fuss about drinking. That's because most people are not aware that alcohol is a potentially addictive and dangerous drug. In today's episode, we'll discuss on different aspects of this growing social menace, alcohol.
Drinking is as old as civilization, but increased social sanctions, easy availability, and media glamorization have led to a dramatic rise in alcohol consumption even among the youth and women. It cuts across all social barriers, turning amicable social drinkers into alcoholic wrecks.
Alcohol in one form or another has been a part of human existence. Alcohol in different forms, whether wine or liquor, has been a part of celebrations and festivities. Some say that even gods supposedly drank somras or wine. Alcohol or alcoholic drunkenness has caused more merriment, laughter, hatred, and tears than any other man-made product. Most people have the knowledge or understand at some level that alcohol is dangerous because it is potentially very addicting. Still, people continue to take alcohol, and apart from social reasons, it is because of certain myths that are associated with alcohol.
Alcohol is stimulating.
Actually, it depresses the nervous system.
Alcohol provides energy.
Actually, these are empty calories.
Alcohol has medicinal properties.
But in reality, it has no curative powers.
Alcohol is relaxing.
While actually it causes numbness.
In moderation, it is not harmful.
But it leads to tolerance and increased intake.
Alcohol improves sexual performance.
It only increases desire but inhibits the performance.
Alcohol has the same effect on everybody.
While ability to tolerate alcohol varies from person to person.
Wine and beer are not harmful.
All liquors are potentially addicting and harmful.
Drinking is a personal problem.
But ultimately, it adversely affects the family and the society. Alcohol abuse has led to myriad problems, leading to social, economic, familial, and occupational crisis in our society.
Alcohol is a drug. It is a drug like any other drug like opium or cannabis or bhang. It is a drug that is used for altering the mood state, and anything that is taken for altering the mood state without the prescription of a doctor is a substance of abuse. Now, alcohol abuse refers to the condition where a person is taking excessive amounts of alcohol for deriving pleasure from it.
An alcohol addict is a person who uses a type of alcohol which is either rum, whiskey or gin to an amount which injures his body, his family and society. To be specific enough, we can think that a person when uses that particular substance to an amount which is deleterious to his health, that means he consumes that particular substance every time more and more to get the same effect.
1 out of every 5 people who drinks develops some problem or the other sometime in life. It's very difficult to say when an individual person develops a problem, but once a problem sets in, it's an almost continuous story. This is very true of the proverb which goes with alcoholism, that first the man takes a drink, and then the drink takes a drink, and then the drink takes the man.
In cities like Bangalore, we have, as it is, a lot of social drinking going on. Alcohol is a very socially accepted form of intoxication. So with a large number of people on various stratas of society already having exposure to drinks, we find that a number of them, when they are exposed to some sort of mental trauma or some sort of emotional disturbance, the next step for them to become an alcoholic seems to be a very obvious step.
It's proven that the more people that you expose to alcohol, the more alcoholics that you're going to get. And that's what we're seeing in this country. Because if you see the consumption of liquor, for instance, there's been a dramatic rise in the amount of both what is called Indian-made foreign liquor as well as beer.
The pub culture has opened out the drinking habit to a slightly younger set of people and also to women. This was not the case earlier. And so the number of people who can become alcoholics, who are more prone to becoming alcoholics in society in general, have now increased.
I'm standing here in a pub in Bangalore with the pub culture. The pub culture where people from all age groups, both sexes, come together. Some of them sitting in family together, even with small children, and others enjoying themselves. This seems to have come to be established as a way of life.
We do have a mixed crowd coming right from the age of 21 up to the age of 80 years also. So the percentage would be something like about, say between 21 to 30 years would be about in the percentage of about 40%, and balance would be above that.
Who becomes an alcoholic? How does a person become an alcoholic? A person becomes an alcoholic because he cannot handle his drinking and cannot stop drinking once he starts taking it. And that is because the dividing line between a social drinker and an alcoholic is very, very flimsy.
I am acting on some drama. I'm an actor. In college life and my past nearly 17-8 years back, I started with beer. And beer, in all my old friends in college life, it is good for health, they suggested like that. But day by day, it is increased, like slowly it is increased. And after some time, I started to consume some hot drinks also, like some other whiskey, brandy and all.
ऐसे में फिर सोशल ड्रिंकिंग की शुरुआत हुई. ऐसे करते करते
I started with social drinking and slowly it became a habit. Earlier, I would get it free. Then I started buying from my own pocket. And I started noticing the changes in my family life and my behavior.
मेरे खुद के काम करने के तरीके में जो बदलाव हुए वो मुझे अच्छी तरह से महसूस होने लगे.
Well, like all people, I started drinking just for the fun of it, or just to experiment what exactly it is. Well, it started 66, that is 28 years I'm drinking. And in the beginning it was okay, one drink will suffice. And later on, as years rolled by, the drink became a necessity for me, and I had to have the drink only in the evenings. But during another 5, 6, 7 years later on, it started getting in the morning as well as in the afternoon, in the night, anytime. And from 85 onwards, I couldn't do without drinks.
Generally, it is believed that if you take up to 2 pegs a day for about 4 or 5 days a week is a safe limit. Ideally, one should not drink at all, but if you have to drink, this should be your upper limit. Anything above this would be an abuse of alcohol.
The quantity consumed by most people starts from smaller to larger quantities. Most people start taking alcohol in the form of social drinking. Subsequently, it becomes larger in quantity, and then people become situational drinkers. After situational drinking comes heavy social drinking, and from that, problem drinking.
Now, the next stage beyond this would be the stage of dependence, where the person gets dependent upon it, he is unable to do without it, and he is psychologically made to always think about the presence of alcohol.
Problem drinkers are the people whose drinking affects their personal lives, their health, their psychology, their family and their work environment.
When he goes on abusing alcohol, then you get symptoms of absenteeism from work, he is unable to perform properly at his workplace, sexual life becomes impaired, then socially he becomes isolated from his friends, he starts remaining alone, he stays at home, and more seriously he starts drinking in the morning. This morning drinking is a very important signal that this patient is going into addiction.
And if he tries to leave alcohol, or if he tries to cut the quantity consumed, then he starts developing the symptoms. They are psychological symptoms and physical symptoms. Psychological symptom may be craving, and physical symptoms are fine or coarse tremors of hands, eyelids, tongue, and some other symptoms like autonomic hyperactivity. This is called dependence.
He tried to give up drinking several times, but then he would start having severe pain in his stomach and headache.
वोमिटिंग होती थी, उल्टियाँ होती थी, क्या यहाँ पेट में दर्द होता था, हाथ पाँव.
I used to vomit, have stomach pain, my hands would tremble. I would be just desperate to have a drink.
घर में बोतल लेके आऊँ पिया.
Problem drinking leads to the state of compulsive drinking and then alcoholism. This is the stage when a person has to take a drink regularly so that the person can avoid the withdrawals that occur if he does not take the drink.
A lot of people come and say that I eat very well, I take a vitamin capsule every day, and I have a lot of milk and meat, therefore nothing is going to happen to me. This is a very strong misconception, because the adverse effects of alcohol, which is a drug, are going to manifest irrespective of what he eats or what he does not eat, but the effects manifest only after, let's say, 5 or 10 years.
Any amount of drinking causes some amount of damage to the person. Excessive drinking definitely causes damage to all the organs of the body. No organ or system is spared where alcohol doesn't do the harm.
I want to leave drinking because I'm having problems. I have stomach pain, my hands tremble, I have headache.
When alcohol is absorbed into the system, it passes first through the liver.
Before being absorbed, it causes irritation in the food pipe and the stomach, leading to acidity and ulcers. It then leads to liver damage, with each peg worsening the situation. Alcohol is not a safe beneficiary of the heart. Slow but sure damage is caused to the kidneys, the nerves, and the muscles. Brain damage also occurs in the long run. Besides, drunken driving leads to accidents, the largest cause of death on the roads.
With long-term use of alcohol or with heavy use of alcohol, it can lead to severe psychological disturbances. The severe psychological disturbances may be in terms of depression, maybe in terms of gross behavioral disturbances leading to excitement, maybe in terms of the person feeling persecuted or jealous about his or her family members, maybe in terms of gross disorientation and confusion.
Difficulties in memory. There are people who've undertaken transactions of 25-50 lakhs the previous day whilst they were drinking and forgotten it the next day. So these kind of lapses in memory can commonly occur.
It's important to remember that while these severe psychological disturbances are more common in people with alcoholism as a disease, they also can occur in social drinkers, especially following heavy bouts of drinking.
Alcoholism can wreck a person's emotional and family life. A loving, considerate husband and a father turns into a bewildering sight as he comes into the grip of alcoholism.
वो जब पहले शराब नहीं पीते थे तो बहुत अच्छे थे, लेकिन शराब पीने के बाद
He used to be a nice man before he started drinking. But once he started, he would unnecessarily scold the children. He would shout at me. He would often insult the guests even. So we avoided inviting anybody home.
इसलिए जब ये घर पे रहते थे तो हम किसी को नहीं बुलाते थे.
पिताजी जब पीने लगते थे तो हमें बहुत डर लगता था. हम उनके पास जाते थे कुछ मांगने के लिए.
When Papa used to drink, we would be really scared to go near him. He would get angry and push us away. We would feel bad and sleep off. he wouldn't let us watch TV also.
तो बोलते थे टीवी बंद करो और सो जाओ.
And problems started coming financially, socially, and in my family life. My wife divorced, my job I lost, my friends rejected me, and finally I came to a state wherein my house, my brothers, sisters, father, mother, everybody rejected me. In the sense, they said stop drinking. And though I wanted to stop, I was not able to.
There is an alarming trend of increasing number of women taking to alcohol. This has consequences not only for the women but also for the generations to come.
It starts with society drinking in the evenings and probably carries on because it gives a comfortable feeling of happiness, and it's hidden because the world frowns on it, and which makes the problem worse.
And a lot of women, especially women under stress, women with multiple roles at home, are also under constant pressures and can develop alcoholism.
Here is a lady who has problems due to her drinking and who does not want her identity to be revealed.
I've been drinking since college days when it was not a problem, but subsequently I became addicted. Society frowns on me. I have developed physical problems, including conception and childbirth after my marriage.
शादी के बाद कंसीव करने में भी बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी.
Effect of alcohol consumption by mother on the baby who is in the womb, in the tummy of the mother, is very well known both in the West as well as in India. We call them fetal alcohol syndrome babies, babies who suffer from attention deficit, hyperactivity, and eventually become slow learners without any ability to concentrate for a long time.
Alcohol does not even spare the unborn child, as sophisticated investigations can detect fetal damage in the woman alcoholic. Similarly, other investigations help to identify signs of early damage to the brain or other organ systems of an alcoholic to enable initiation of timely treatment.
The most important issue in treatment is motivation, and therein lies the success of any treatment plan. Most people, after they have reached the stage of alcohol addiction, want to give up drinking, but they do not know how. They are also not sure whether they will be able to lead a dignified life after they have given up drinking, and also whether they would be able to stay without drinks.
I have realized that my wife and my family are important. It's not good to drink. There's a saying, open the bottle, break the home. It is so true.
Break the bottle, break the home. यानी bottle तोड़ दिया तो घर तोड़ दिया.
And then I'll realize, what am I doing? I should not be drinking. I'm wasting my money. I'm wasting my honor, my prestige.
अब मैं शराब छोड़ना चाहता हूँ.
I want to give up drinking because it's causing financial problems. Children are also growing up, and I don't want to die so early.
The important thing is to make them understand that they can give up drinking. Of course, there are physical problems, physical complications or withdrawals which can be looked after adequately by a doctor. But important thing is for them to get this confidence that after giving up drinking, they can become a productive member of their family and society.
The psychosocial management of alcoholic essentially requires the family members to be very considerate, affectionate and understanding.
The first thing one has to understand is no one else can overcome the problem than myself. So I can only get the help to help myself, in fact. And in this way, these self-experience groups, they work.
Cities in India like Calcutta, Bombay, Delhi, Madras, Bangalore, they have alcohol anonymous groups in which many alcoholics are sit together and questions are asked regarding the deleterious effect they have realized in their family, in their social environment, in their own physical and mental health.
Some people restart because of social, environmental and occupational problems or the occupational stresses.
But when you feel tired, bored, if you just feel frustrated, depressed, then definitely you will look for one or the other substitute to overcome these states.
Some people restart because of overconfidence. They feel that they have given up the habit and one drink will not make a difference, and that starts the cycle once again.
The real test of success of treatment is when a person who has recovered from alcoholism has learned to stay without drinks for a long time, has learned to manage the life better, and most importantly, has learned to say no to alcohol. In this goal, the person who has just come out of the problem, the family members, people at place of work, and the treating physician can all pool in their resources to achieve that goal. Here are some tips to help achieve it.
Say no to drinks. Educate yourself about the effects of alcohol. Avoid the company of people who drink. Avoid places of regular drinking like bars or pubs. Take substitute drinks, juices, fruit punch. If tired or tense, do not drink. Develop alternate activities, hobbies, interests. Practice relaxation techniques. Reward yourself when you stay off drinks. It is best to avoid drinking, but if you cannot, these are the tips to reduce your drinking. Restrict days and periods of drinking. Always dilute drinks. Eat snacks with drinks. Do not drink alone. Set a drinking limit for yourself.
Alcoholism is an entirely preventable condition. If you find yourself drinking excessively or becoming an alcoholic, it is time now to prevent yourself from slipping into these depths of doom. Remember, there are alternatives far healthier to cope with life's ups and downs than alcohol, and you owe yourself that responsibility to lead a healthier life.
Silent in your tears, wasted in your years. When you cry alone. Recourse to fantasy, living with insanity. Another night beside the phone. Mind, feel the pain. Seek your meaning by my watch. Against the war within, addictions in the bin. Curl up with your memories. Togetherness and harmony. Watch your mind.